Harness, everybody. It's DA Wrestling. Money in the Bank was last night. Drew goes off on the post show. John Cena comes out of nowhere in Toronto and announces his retirement in 2025 for all year. And solo pins Cody. But today, we say hi to Doug first. Then we're going to start off with the Money in the Bank women's match and men's match. But first off, let's see how Doug's doing first. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm surprised my voice isn't cooked after last night. I had a rough time talking to you on the ride home.
Yeah, you sound fine today, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I'm a
good.
little surprised. I'm expecting a little raspiness in your voice, but
Oh,
apparently
I was
not.
expecting to have no voice.
That was a hell of a
I
time last night.
God bless Andrew for putting up with my inner child last night. Um,
It's okay.
we actually both walked away with some new merch. Um,
Good. I He picked up the can of Money in the Bank beer, the shirt. I picked up the Cody work with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
which you'll see my shirt like that tomorrow on the Raw review.
If you're lucky, you might see my MFT the Tamatonga shirt.
But yeah, despite a long day and a busted up ankle, I had a fucking blast last night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night at Money in the
Um,
Bank.
and pro tip, I only smoked half a joint, which made the experience that much more enjoyable. Um,
Well, that's
Andrew
good.
Andrew will tell you that when we do these things, or we'll go to an event, or we'll go to a game, I usually make the mistake of smoking a whole joint before we go
And
into the venue.
mixing with a bunch of alcohol.
And I do mix it with alcohol, and usually I become like a zombie by the second half of the show.
We're
That was not the
clearly nuts in
case.
a concert.
Yes, that night was fun.
Uh-huh.
But no, last night it was like I was like fucking 8 years old again.
Well, fair enough. A lot of fun last night. Both matches, both Money in the Back matches. We're going to start off with today. We're going to start with the women's match first, even though it was more or less close to the end of the show. But we're going to start with the women's match first because the men's will lead into what we're going to talk about in a bit. Uh, so both of us were correct, and we think Tiffany Stratton was going to win Money in the Bank. Probably the best call. I mean, you could have went with a couple other people too. I probably would have been fine with Io Sky. I probably would have been fine also with Lyle Valkyria. But I know she's a little early for this too. But I'm happy with Tiffany Stratton. Or of course I would have been happy with Chelsea Green too. Chelsea Green would have been a great time being Canadian and just being in general how annoying she would be as Money in the Bank winner. Would have been fantastic.
Last night I learned that she's from Victoria.
Yeah, she's from BC. She's a BC girl.
I know. Anyways, look, Tiffany Stratton made the most sense, and I'll explain why,
Of
as I
course it
love
did.
to do.
It made the most sense considering what storyline she's in right now.
When you look at the competitors,
Yeah.
okay, in that match, okay, Naomi, I would argue, is a big enough star. She doesn't need it.
Yeah, but you could argue she could also like
And
propel her.
she's a former champion. Io won it last year, and again, she can basically just insert herself as the winner, like gets the winner between Liv and Rhea,
Yeah, very true.
which I think is her direction because she's the only one in damage control that's actually winning these days.
Yeah, which
Um,
is well, I think once Oscar gets back, you'll probably start seeing the Kabuki Warriors start going around, go through things. So
um, Lyra, I think, is in the same boat as Mello, where
yeah,
if you were to give it to them, you'd be playing the long game with them.
yeah, and you're basically playing chess because if they don't take off like you hope,
Right. And I think Lyra's doing a very good job on her own. She doesn't need the briefcase, and I can see her challenging, if not winning the title by the end of the year.
yeah, I think Lyra will probably eventually be a future women's champion down the line on the Raw brand.
Especially since she's already had the association with Becky Lynch.
Yeah, that's probably how.
They don't just tie anybody to Becky Lynch.
No, and I can honestly see Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria probably doing a tag team at some point, going for the tag titles.
Absolutely. When Becky decides to come back,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I could see that.
So and then Zoe Stark, I mean, I feel was kind of filler. And same with Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is one of those heels where, you know, she's a good comedy heel in the sense that she, if you want someone to beat all the time, that's not going to lose any star power, it's Chelsea Green.
Yeah, but Chelsea Green with that Money in the Bank would have made it really, really interesting.
Sure. But again, I also think that the immediate future is Tiffany Stratton. And
Yeah, they're gonna strap themselves to. I mean, especially after the way her reaction was at
so
Elimination Chamber in Perth.
so the way she has shown out this year, I mean, I know she's kind of cooled since WrestleMania.
Yeah,
What did she even do at WrestleMania?
I don't think she was even on the card.
Okay. So since Elimination Chamber, she's been kind of cooled off,
Yeah,
but having this briefcase is a perfect way. And it almost felt like, because I was watching it back today, it almost felt like they were teasing a match down the road between Tiffany and Trish Stratus.
yeah. By the looks of it, they're teasing. Trish has never said she's gonna retire. She never said she's
Yeah,
retiring.
that's true. Yeah.
Um, so it's I can see that match be right. And be honest here, her and Trish Stratus doing a feud, probably like a month long feud or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean,
Lead up to a big show. I got you.
yeah, I can see it being a lot of fun for all parties. Plus, Trish could still go, literally.
If she wants to, absolutely.
Trish, she,
Um,
but
so that
the
being
the
said,
well, the story with with Tiffany though, considering the fact she's in that storyline with Nia Jax, and Nia is set to face Bailey at SummerSlam. That's probably I think where she probably got cast.
something tells me here's how you kind of escape this whole thing.
Okay,
You have Bailey kind of barely squeak out a win on Nia, right?
so you're calling by Bailey being Nia at SummerSlam.
Right.
Okay,
But with the caveat that Nia gets pissed and destroys Bailey, which leaves the perfect opportunity for Tiffany Stratton to come in and cash in,
so
which is kind of very similar to how Io Sky won last year.
yeah, it's kind
But
of
um, but at the same time, I I s- I think like if she's aligned with Nia Jax, you can start, and you could also start to build Nia Jax as a baby face if you want to. Because who do you have on that babyface side on SmackDown in the women's division? Bailey,
yeah, Bailey, Jade
Mishin,
Cargill, yeah, Bailey, Jade Cargill. You have Bianca Belair.
but
You
they're both tied
have
up in the tag division.
yes, but there's still baby faces. But
Sure.
you have Mishin, uh,
Naomi.
Naomi, obviously the Bailey. But like the way I look at it is though, I think Tiffany Stratton. If you, I think Tiffany Stratton will be the baby face and not Nia Jax.
I think that
I don't.
Tiffany Stratton has the, I mean, I hate to make this comparison because, it's kind of like the blonde hair fitness model type look, but she has the potential to be the next Charlotte Flair.
You know when you say blonde fitness model thing? You know that was Trish Stratus before she came to WWE, right?
I know that. Yeah.
Okay, just say that's
But
yeah,
like she's got the look, she's got the charisma, she has a insane in-ring ability.
yeah.
Like she has the total package.
Well, I think we said a while back that Tiffany Stratton will probably be the next Charlotte Flair. I think we said that a while back. Like I think
I
during
think we heard it somewhere and we kind of passed it along here.
we could have, yeah, or maybe we said I don't know. It's probably a while, but Tiffany Stratton won the women's Money in the Bank, and of no surprise. Moving on to the men's Money in the Bank though, that was a hell of a match, and I'm sorry. I've
That
never
was
now you see it on TV. You
crazy.
see this on TV. But to be there in person when Jey Uso comes out to open up to get everybody going, that's a hell of a fun time.
So I was watching this with my 6-year-old son
Yeah,
this morning. Well, throughout the course of the day, we had to take multiple breaks in between.
fair enough.
And when we started watching it, he's like, Daddy, where were you sitting? And I was like, we were like right underneath where Jay came out. So like
Literally,
we didn't get to see so much Jay come out until he was like already at the floor, but just the energy in the arena, and that's where I'm gonna shout out, you know, our hometown crowd here. Toronto always brings the energy.
yeah.
I've never been to a bad show in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean we've been to a Raw show where it was like it was fun, a lot of fun, but it wasn't bad.
Right.
So
But the thing is like, and Toronto's always full of surprises.
yeah, Toronto is Toronto. When you think about it, is if New York's WWE's home,
Hmm.
Toronto is its like cottage or vacation villa. If you want to look at it that way. Um, every time it goes back to the territory times, right? A lot of WD was built in Toronto, Montreal, that this part of
Well, because we're part
Canada.
of the Northeast Territory.
Yeah, it was built there. That's one of the reasons why I hate to say bring his name up, but Hulk Hogan was such a huge why he was never heel in Canada. He could never be heel in Canada because he was just so popular here.
Actually, to be fair, he has gone on record to say that night in Toronto,
Yeah,
the one we're all thinking of,
yeah,
versus The Rock,
yeah.
that reaction got him another year and a half
Oh yeah,
because this NWO thing was going to fizzle out very quickly.
yeah,
And when they realized that, when they almost did an accidental double turn in that match,
yeah. I remember that match. Hell of a
yeah,
match.
of course, everyone remembers that match.
Hell of a match.
Um, and then the next night, the 10-minute standing ovation in Montreal.
Yeah,
And that Hogan said that bought him another year plus,
yeah,
um, working pretty much full time.
yeah.
So, and it got him another championship run the following month.
Very true.
So I think that, that's not really understating it, like Toronto being almost a second home.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to
Right.
this ridiculous spot fest.
Yeah.
We seen a reverse Spanish fly off the second rope.
By Andrade and Carmelo Hayes
Yup.
onto a ladder of all things.
Yup.
Andrade did some insane things here. Like he put himself
The sunset flip power bomb to,
LA Knight. I think it was LA Knight.
no, it wasn't LA Knight.
Was it
I
LA
believe
Knight?
it was Mello again he got.
I
It
can't
was
remember.
Mello. It was Mello again.
Mm,
He had it out for Mello in this match.
wow. It was a lot of good spots.
LA Knight. What was that? Like a back suplex or a neck breaker on the ladder that was like this?
Drew McIntyre before he went up and got the title when he harpooned a bloody ladder into Jey Uso. My God.
Followed by a Claymore.
Yeah.
And let's not understate the contributions of one Chad Gable in this match.
Oh, Chad Gable did a lot of fun stuff. Him hanging from the from the briefcase and falling face first was hysterical.
Looney Tune style, but
Yeah,
also him German suplexing a ladder onto LA Knight,
that was fun.
him giving LA Knight a belly to belly over the ropes onto a ladder bridge
Yeah.
that LA Knight set up.
Hmm.
Um,
A
there
lot of
was
people that set up stuff last night went through those things after, just so you
a
for the
lot,
record. Chelsea Green and that in the women's match, let's go back to it. They helped set up tables with Tiffany Stratton, and then Stratton put her through those tables.
yeah, absolutely.
It was good
Uh,
times.
and actually, speaking of some of the crazy spots in the women's match, like you had that ridiculous Michinoku driver from Io Sky on
Yeah,
Zoe Stark from the top of the ladder onto a ladder bridge.
yeah. The sudden stop.
Ridiculous. Um,
The you know, I wasn't sure in the men's match if Drew. I mean, I kind of figured when Drew was announced and he qualified that he'd probably be the one that won it. But in the early going, I didn't think he was actually would they were actually going to pull that trigger. I know there's a lot of people online stating a lot of things that Drew shouldn't have won, that it should have been Jey Uso or LA Knight.
are we getting into this now?
Well, let's quickly get into it before we move on to well,
Sammy and Braun, and
no,
then we'll circle back to Damian and Seth.
yeah, we'll circle back to that.
Okay. So, all right, cool. So I saw a lot of discourse online today and
Yeah,
last night on the drive home that
yeah,
um we'll get to it, but Drew cashing in to make it a triple threat and then Punk costing him.
yeah. We'll
And
we'll circle back to that in a bit.
a lot of people said, like, oh, Punk should have just cost him the ladder match. Let's think about this,
Yeah.
okay? Logan Paul is tied up in a story, or sorry, LA Knight is tied up with Logan Paul.
Mhm.
That's going to be the US title match finally
Yeah,
at SummerSlam.
absolutely.
Jay, as much as, you know, as much as he wants to break off on his own, he's going to be a part of this bloodline civil war, whether he wants to or not.
Yeah.
Uh, who else was in this match? Andrade is so cold right now.
Andrade is he's currently the speed champion on Twitter or X, sorry.
But
It's not much. It's not
that shit's
much.
not
Yeah,
even canon.
yeah. Like
That shit's not
I,
even
I hope
canon.
they do something more with Andrade. I do. I enjoy Andrade. He's quite a lot of fun actually.
Right.
Uh, but no, he's like if anybody should have got the title, yeah, the Money in the Bank. It could have been Andrade. Like let's be honest.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I'm not done yet.
No, I'm fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, like
I
if
know.
anybody could have got it, it could have been Andrade.
The same argument I just had for Lyra applies to Mello.
Yep.
Um, and then Chad Gable is caught up with the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
Okay. So by
I was
Drew,
surprised that we didn't see them last night. Actually.
but also keep in mind you're about to crown Gunther,
Yep.
who's not gonna let this title match, like he's not gonna let that title go because of a set of a cash in.
No.
And same with Cody. He's not gonna let that title go because of a cash in. And he's got a story that could see him be champion for another year plus.
Yeah, it depends on how they go about it. Yes.
Right. So like you're basically just wasting money in the bank by giving it to somebody only for them to fail a cash in 9 months down the line.
Yeah.
And you also don't want to run into the same problem you just had with Damian Priest, where it
No.
got so long, it took so long
Yeah, I started becoming
that
very irritating.
people started to question whether or not he's even going to cash in.
Yeah.
So like you got like anybody listening out there who's part of this discourse, okay? You you can't have your cake and eat it too, you know?
No, and I think they did the right move here by putting it on to Drew McIntyre. And to be honest, Chip, it makes it a hell of a lot more exciting. But Drew winning the way he did, I'm happy with it.
Sure.
Moving on quickly though, before we come back around to the Drew McIntyre cash in slash failure, we're really quickly go to Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, and dare I say that this is an upset for Sami Zayn to beat Braun Breaker. I think a lot of people were picking
No,
Braun Breaker to win
no.
this.
And that's the thing. Okay. And
I know a lot of people I think were out for that. I
Sammy
think Braun's
pointed
going
it
to win.
out on Monday. Okay.
I think he pointed out even last night too.
He pointed it out on Monday.
Yeah,
Everyone was calling him the underdog, that
yeah,
Braun was gonna fucking run through him.
yeah.
Listen, this doesn't hurt Braun Breaker one bit.
I wouldn't think it does either.
He's been on the main roster for literally like 3 months.
Yeah,
And you have so much time to build that dude. This is only the first step. He will have that title by the end of the year.
Oh, for sure. If anything, if not SummerSlam.
Well, actually, he could very well have that title by the end of the summer.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
SummerSlam. I think he's probably gonna re-challenge Zayn at SummerSlam or probably win this time. At least that's what I'm guessing right
well,
now.
and that's it. Like, I don't think this is just a one and done. I
No,
think
I think there's another more to this than this that.
right, exactly. I think. Well, I also think you have Bronson Reed looming somewhere too. I
You
hope they didn't
know,
give up on that, but
no, I like Bronson Reed. I would love to see. I would love to see Bronson Reed versus Braun Breaker. Put that on a
that could
Berlin.
very well be the next number one contenders match, to be
Put
honest.
put that in Braun. Put that in Berlin. Be great.
Who heavy hitters like that?
Oh, you kidding me? Both
Okay,
move.
and
Now let's get to
that's what I'm saying. Like Braun moves like his uncle.
yeah,
Okay. Like his dad was very sound fundamentally, good amateur.
yeah,
He had the flying bulldog and he had the Steiner.
yeah.
But when it comes to the diversity of movesets and just the freak athletic ability, nothing compares to Scott Steiner.
That
And
well,
Braun definitely got his genetics from his uncle.
a good example of that is when so give a perspective. When Scott Steiner used to do the Hurricane from the guy who was on the top rope, Scott Steiner would climb to the top rope, he would hold the guy, and then he would kind of jump with his legs, put his legs on him or not. Braun runs up the ropes, and doesn't even put his hand on the guy, just jumps and just gets him and goes.
Yeah, and
Like
that's the freak
freakish.
that's the freak athlete he is. And
Yeah.
he runs at a NFL combine level.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
hard. It's hard to believe this guy didn't get picked up by an NFL team. It really is, or like didn't get onto like the main squad. It's hard to believe that didn't happen.
There must have been
Um,
something wrong with him, like
has to be.
fundamentally.
Yeah, has to be. Um,
But
okay.
who do you so I mean, also like we cannot understate how much Sami Zayn is loved in Canada.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Him, and Kevin both.
I sent a video to my son of the crowd after Sammy won,
Yeah,
and he said, "This is freaking crazy."
absolutely. Him and
So,
KO both.
so
Uh, let's go to the cash in. The
the cash in,
let's go. Well, let's
okay,
go into the Priest versus Sammy the Rollins, which brings us to the
okay,
cash in.
which by the way was a very good match. Even okay, so good match, but Priest forgot to kick out.
Yes. Okay. So let's go through that really quickly. So we came to that point there in the match. Now, watching over. Now we were there obviously live where we were. Check it out on TikTok there too. You can see the whole cash in on TikTok right now on DA Sports at Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. Um, so looking at that match and watching when I got home because I recorded it at home here so I could take a look at it again. The referee stopped his hand because Priest didn't kick out, and that's kind of where some of the controversy came from because a lot of people thought that his hand never hit three,
So
but the referee stopped himself though.
the story goes, okay, and first of all, shout out Mike Chioda because he said straight up on Twitter, I would have counted three, but also that's why as the ref on a close false finish, you got to tell the wrestler to kick out. I think the production team was supposed to hit Drew's music before it hit three.
There's a good possibility that I
I
think
think
that
the
was
production team missed their cue.
that's you know what that's a good possibility. And you can see at the end of the match, we'll get to the
Priest was frustrated.
we'll get to the cash in, folks, everybody. But before we get to that, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below, guys. Hope you enjoy yourselves doing the content. It's a small click for you, but a big click for us. We thank you very
Psst,
much for your support.
hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Uh, so when you look before we get to the cash in, though, Priest looked visibly upset.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the match was over, if you look at the video, he was visibly upset,
Oh,
ticked
he
off.
was
He said
pissed.
he threw a few curse words out there. Um, Probably, you know what? Well, I'm sure everything eventually will come out as to what it was. If it was a miscue, then that's not on
There's no,
Priest.
but there's no changing it. And I don't
No,
even think this is on Priest because there's a lot of
no,
people who
I
think he
don't,
was probably knocked out.
I don't think. Yeah, like to me, I thought he had a concussion. To be honest, like when we talked about it later on, I said to you, I think he had a concussion or got slightly concussed.
I've seen that discourse online too.
Yeah,
And so, anyways, regardless, McIntyre finally does come out
yeah,
and it's official. It's announced as a triple threat match. The
yeah.
referee rings the bell.
Yep, they made to a few references too about how Rollins did this at WrestleMania against Brock and Roman. How he's been cashing on before, actually in Toronto. From what I think it was Mike Cole saying, we got cashed in Toronto. When Cole said that, I might misheard him.
Who did?
I think Cole said he got cashed in Toronto actually, like a while back, like a number of years ago. He was a champion. I can't
Seth
remember.
got cashed in on
Yeah,
in
I can't remember.
Toronto?
That's what I think you said. It doesn't matter. We can look it up later on. But either way, turns into a triple threat match. Drew thought he was going to get him with the Claymore. Seth stopped it. Drew nearly won. Priest ended up coming in, choke slamming him. He couldn't get Priest at all. He tried to Claymore Priest, but he ended up Claymore in the stomach by
And he
accident.
got him in the chest.
Yeah, sloppy as hell. And then Punk comes out and attacks Drew.
And can I talk about the live perspective for a sec?
Sure.
You and I kind of ignored it. Like
Okay.
I didn't say anything to you,
Okay.
but there was a point in time, I think it was during the Sammy match,
Okay.
where someone went under the ring
Okay.
and didn't come back out.
Okay.
It honestly might have even been during the Money in the Bank match. Okay. Because I heard someone behind us, maybe a couple rows behind us, saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, someone just snuck under the ring." And
Okay.
I didn't think anything of it, especially after what happened in between.
I definitely ignored it. I was doing busy a lot of work at the time too.
Well,
So
not just that. I was thinking like we were all preoccupied with not only the Sammy Braun match, but what happened after, which we'll talk about after this situation.
let's talk the bloodline too. Let's end it on that happy note first.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
All right.
well, there's a couple of things too. Anyway, we'll talk about bloodline after this, but CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the title.
Mm.
Ends up beat the living hell out of him with a chair, choking him, hits him with the title. Priest
The last guy to choke somebody on WWE TV
yeah.
was Daniel Bryan,
Oh,
and he got fired for it.
oh, well, he choked
I
him.
guess we're back. I guess we're back to choking people.
Well, it's also a different regime.
That's true.
Priest ends up hitting South of Heaven, gets the pin. At the end of it, CM Punk is sitting on the table, and Seth starts to go at him to the point where
Yeah,
Corey Graves had to hold Seth back. Now, obviously, this might be part of storyline or not, whatever
it
it is.
is. It is because remember now because Punk not only cost McIntyre, he cost Rollins too.
Yes.
Now Rollins cannot challenge for the world title as long as Damian Priest is champion.
Yeah. So
So
it was interesting. Drew becomes the sixth person to not successfully cash in. And a lot of people, like I said, we're as we go back to it a little bit too about talking about people who are not happy about that. Look, you can't have somebody just win the title all single time. Eventually, somebody in the women's division will not cash in.
has to lose.
Has to. Eventually, it's going to happen. It will. It's going to happen eventually somewhere down the line. Who it is, who knows?
Do you remember the first person to fail a cash in?
If I'm correct, it was John Cena. Or
Damian Sandow.
was it Damien Sandow?
I'm pretty sure it was Damian Sandow.
I think it was either
Oh
John.
no, you're right. It was
It was,
John Cena.
it was John Cena, if I'm correct, told the person they're going to cash in on them right away at the event. Can't remember which one event it was. I don't think it.
Raw 1000. His
that-
opponent was CM Punk.
That's right.
That was the night CM Punk turned heel.
That's right.
Okay. Anyways,
So blood bloodline. Actually, you know what? Just forget about it. We already talked about the guy. Let's do it. John Cena comes out to a shocked crowd in Toronto. Needless to say, I was very shocked not to see John Cena there.
we were heading back to our seats
Yeah,
after the first couple of matches. We went
yeah,
down, and as we were going back up to our seat, it took me a moment to register
yep.
that John Cena's music was playing.
Yeah,
But once I did, it was holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
yeah.
And I'm like, even with my busted ass ankle, like running up the steps to our seat
Yeah.
as fast as I can.
It explains the John Cena shirts there too.
Yeah.
Um, so John basically announced as that he will be retiring from WWE at the end of 2025. Um, he said a lot of very kind things about Toronto in general and Canada. Um, how we've always been very supportive, whether the product's good, bad, or
Indifferent.
fantastic or indifferent, and how he's always been like loved coming here and performing. As a Canadian guy who's seen who's got a chance to watch John Cena's entire career from prototype to now, through the times where I couldn't stand John Cena just because the title after title after title. It's gonna be sad to see the guy go. It really will be.
So during the press conference,
And he got a hell of an ovation here in Canada. He got a lot of thank yous.
oh my God. Listen, he said during the press conference, here's the best way we can break this down.
Yeah.
This retirement tour, if everything goes as planned,
Yeah.
is going to be from January to December of next year.
Yeah.
Right now, he is tentatively scheduled for anywhere between the high 30s and low 40s for number of dates to
Yeah.
appear.
Yeah, if I'm correct, I heard last night between 30 to 40 dates as of right now.
They could all be TVs. However, he could also pop up at a house show or two.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that factors into. I can almost anticipate him being on every pay-per-view next year.
I can see that. So in light of John Cena retiring, a couple questions I'm going to have for you right now.
Sure.
Let's do this really quick. Let's do this really quickly here before we move on to the bloodline.
Sure.
You think John? Do you think John gets that 17th title?
Yes.
Okay. Because I kind of think he will too. Who do you think he faces at WrestleMania? I have my ideas who I'd like to see. Who do you think?
I'd like to see
Because there's a certain individual. There's a certain
honestly,
individual.
I'd like to see him face whoever the world champion is. Because we all know the WWE title is going to be locked up with Cody, The Rock, the Bloodline. Okay. All that shit's going down with the WWE title.
Well,
And if you don't have Cena win the Rumble, I
because I
would
thought
have him
about
win.
that. I
I
thought about
would
that.
I would have him win Elimination Chamber for him to face whoever the world champion is. If that's still Gunther, cool. If not, then whatever, whoever it
So,
is.
so I'm just gonna say, I think the person who I'd like to see him face at WrestleMania is somebody who said at the press conference they would love to have, and they hopefully he could do it too. They showed some videos of them too. CM Punk versus John Cena at
No,
Mania.
because they're gonna go back to Punk and Seth.
Probably, maybe not. With John Cena being there, they might still do Seth and Punk.
You could also do Cena and Orton. You've never done Cena Orton at WrestleMania?
That is very true.
And
But I
you haven't done a Cena Orton match in like 10 years.
see, I thought about that too, but I also figured maybe Cena would. I also figured maybe Orton would be the one that retires Cena. That's kind of where I was going with that. I could see Mania for sure.
You could bill it as the loser retires.
Yes, but if he's going to be all the way till 2025 in December, Mania is going to be well done before that.
No, I'm not saying you do that at Mania. I'm saying you do that
So you come back to
in December.
so you do it at Mania, then you come back to it around December. Are you thinking?
No, I'm saying have Cena challenge for the world title,
Okay.
possibly win it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that would be a huge moment.
Yeah.
Have him break Flair's record at Mania.
Yeah.
Okay. And cool. And then he can like immediately lose it the next month or a couple weeks later
Yeah.
to
Whoever.
The guy you want, maybe a Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I don't think John's going to have a problem putting anybody over as his way out. He's never had a problem doing it now. I mean, even in John's semi prime, I guess I actually want to call that. He put over Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens was just coming into
Oh,
the main roster.
2015 was definitely still prime scene.
Yeah, like he put over Kevin Owens, like big time.
Yeah.
So I could see him doing it. He has no problem
Oh
putting
yeah,
people over.
no.
So
No, and he wants to give back to the next generation too.
absolutely.
So like I think you'll finally see him snap that 5-year losing streak of his.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
100% will.
I think the
If John wins
last singles win that John Cena has was against Elias in Australia in 2018.
If John wins the let's see what I think. Never mind.
Or you could have Cena win you could have Cena win the Rumble and just challenge whoever the world champion is.
It's true.
Or if you really want to get ballsy, you can throw him in the middle of that Cody Roman Rock
I wouldn't
fucking
mind
love triangle.
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing him go against Roman one more time.
Him and Roman again would be fun.
Yeah. If it happens, I doubt it. I doubt it will happen. But if they even if they brought back Brock for a match,
but that's the thing. There's no reason for Cena and Roman to do it again because they're 1-1.
Yeah.
Or they're sorry, Roman beat him 2 times.
Yeah.
There's no reason to bring that back.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, Bloodline last night. Roman Reigns was not in Toronto.
Sika's funeral.
Some of us thought he might have been there, but yes, it was Sika's funeral yesterday. So that's understandable completely.
To which Jay and Naomi and Solo and possibly the whole bloodline really skipped Sika's funeral for this. So
yeah,
for the love of the game.
Yeah. So Bloodline beats Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes, with Solo Sikoa pinning Cody in that match, which sets up SummerSlam. At least I think so.
I'm pretty sure at one point I let a fuck you Solo chant.
I think you might have done too. I mean, a lot of people are saying that.
I know. But I mean, I think I was finally loud enough to actually start a couple chants this time.
Yeah. That was an all-around good match. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would love to see just give me Kevin Owens versus Tama Tonga at SummerSlam 1-on-1. Just let him go nuts. Have fun. Like, I think it'd just be a blast. Who cares who won? It'd just be a lot of fun.
By the way, being a part of Cody's entrance was awesome. You can feel the energy off the TV.
Yeah.
But like being there, it's different. Like there's a different energy in that building when that bass hits.
When Randy Orton came out, the tradition continued in Toronto. Everybody's singing Randy Orton in the ring.
France started a fucking tradition.
Absolutely. France started it, and Toronto continued it. It was like, that was fantastic. Everyone's singing Randy Orton to the ring, and he loved it. He's absolutely loved it. like I said, I hope we get to see John versus Orton one more time.
I think you have to. That kind of has to be his last match, don't you think?
I think Orton's the one that has to retire him. I can't see anybody else doing it. If it's not Orton, it has to be Roman
Or Punk, maybe.
or because you can do Punk and Cena versus whoever wins loses and retires.
Or you can do this thing that come December, right?
Yeah,
You bill it as John Cena's last match, but you put him in the title match.
yeah. Either wins or
And you just he either wins and retires with 17 or he loses and retires.
well, Sting retired on top of the tag division,
Yeah.
so you could possibly do it.
He retired as tag team
He
champion,
did,
yeah.
so you could do that. But
Before we kind of wrap this whole thing up,
well, before we do, I want to bring up the one last thing before we wrap this up.
Drew losing his shit at the post show.
Well, that's part of the whole thing. Drew losing his shit the whole post show. Let's bring up that today to what happened with that too before I bring him the last one. Drew getting is now suspended apparently indefinitely as of Twitter today, or by Adam Pierce today.
Yeah, because
And fined. Him and Punk both fined. Different some kind of amount.
that's the thing, though. What are you really fining Punk for?
I guess interfering in the match. I'm assuming.
It was a triple threat. There's no disqualification. He has no basis for it.
Yeah, I have no idea why Punk. I understand Drew being suspended for elbowing him for sure, but who knows?
It's not like Punk hit any security.
No,
It's not like he hit any referees.
no,
The only person he hit was Drew McIntyre.
yeah, that's true. Uh, but yeah, that was. It's interesting to see what Raw will be like tomorrow. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
tomorrow on Monday. Looking forward to see how that is. But lastly, before we get on ourselves out of here, they're bringing back an old pay per view.
Bad blood. Now, I'm going to fact check Michael Cole and Corey Graves, those motherfuckers.
Okay.
Okay. They were sitting there saying, oh, for the first time in 27 years, ironically, to the day, we're bringing back Bad Blood. Bruh, the last Bad Blood was like 2006. Do you guys not watch your own fucking show?
Well, probably not.
Like,
But I think the point of reference was because there was the debut. It was the first Hell in a Cell with
I
Shawn and
I
Undertaker, and
fucking hope
the debut of Kane.
I
That's probably why.
fucking hope we don't get fucking Mayor Glenn
No,
motherfucking
I don't think we
Jacobs.
will. I don't think we will. I
Especially
mean,
if he
they may
dons that.
mention it.
Oh,
They may mention it.
and then also Logan Paul with like the new WWE Prime flavor. He's like, oh, we should have partnered with Kane on this.
Oh Jesus!
And
Here
I'm
we
like,
go.
can we please not like can we just let this one go? He's turned
Wow.
into like he's insufferable to look like to listen to.
Oh well, whatever. So Bad Blood coming from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
Uh, State Farm Arena, home of Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
There's no way that man's going to lose that title. I think, or he's going to win it back at Bad Blood in October. Who knows?
Actually, like I said to you yesterday,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that far fetched to see Solo
No.
win the
Probably
title.
it may not be. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, one of two things would happen. Either they're going to strap that title on Solo, or Roman's going to cost Solo.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, in honor of John Cena's uh, announcement that he's starting his retirement tour.
Yep.
To this day, July 7th, 2024.
Yeah.
What is your favorite John Cena match?
Okay. I have
How obscure are you going to get here?
a couple.
All right, give me like your top three because he's been
Okay.
around.
Obviously, the Punk, the Punk Cena match where Punk left with the title,
So Money in the Bank, yeah.
Money in the Bank. John versus Edge in Toronto,
Unforgiven. Okay.
and John in a losing effort where he got slaughtered by Brock Lesnar.
Oh, SummerSlam 2014.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
because
That's good.
that one just completely launched Lesnar to a completely different stratosphere. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat became a huge thing after that.
So for me, John Cena, Randy Orton, bragging rights 2010.
That
It was an Iron match for the title, Iron Man match for the title.
that
Okay. That's probably my first one. My
okay,
second one is probably the I Quit match between him and JBL.
okay.
One of
Now
only one of only two pay-per-views, by the way, to be rated um mature audiences.
now was that the U.S. title match or when he was
No, no, the
for the world
WWE
title
title match,
that
but
match?
like
Okay,
that's where Cena like bleeds so much his face is like
okay.
out
Crimson,
of out of a horror movie.
yeah.
Um and then probably my third favorite John Cena match. See, I wasn't that much of a hater on John.
Are you gonna put Rock versus
I'll
Cena one on
say
there?
no.
Because you can, I mean, you can kind of do that.
Could, but like I actually, to be fair, I don't like either of those matches.
I say Rock Cena one was definitely better than Rock Cena two.
I'm gonna say Rock, or sorry, John Cena, Shawn Michaels in London on Monday Night Raw, right after Mania 23.
Fair enough.
I think you know the one I'm talking about. They went like an hour
Yeah.
in London, and it's crazy. Um, but I'm
John,
gonna miss.
it's hard to choose John Cena's best moments. Like he's had some really good ones over like those his entire span. I think one of my favorite comebacks is when he just showed up after, was it Payback? No, the one where he showed up and challenged Reigns right there. Like he wasn't even like really challenging. He kind of just
Money in the
showed
Bank
up.
2021.
That's it.
And that was right when fans just got back too.
Yeah,
That was only the second show back with fans
yeah.
after the pandemic.
When John showed up, which he eventually challenged Roman at SummerSlam. But I remember when he showed up, he didn't say a word. He just kind of like, can't see me.
To me, the go-to John Cena moment is definitely um the Royal Rumble 2008, where
And
he was supposed to be out for another 2-3 months,
oh, he came back at number
and he
30
came
at
back at
Madison
number
Square
30.
Garden.
Oh my God. Just
Like
incredible. And honestly, a guy that,
he's a straight up good dude. Like he really is just
yeah,
straight up good dude.
I mean,
There's not a lot of people out
loves
there.
kids. He's granted more wishes for Make-A-Wish Foundation than anyone in history.
He does a lot for a lot of people. His philanthropy is has knows no bounds
Well documented.
and knows no bounds. Like he wants to help people as best he can. And he's if you follow him on Twitter, he posts stuff on X, sorry, Twitter X. Always good messages of like where you can, just make yourself feel good. So he's a hell of a guy.
Oh, for sure.
He will be missed, and you know what? Everyone talks about their Mount
We're
Rushmores
gonna we're gonna be here to cover it here at D Wrestling.
for sure. Everyone talks.
Hopefully we go another year and a half.
Oh, I think we will. I'm determined.
Same.
Uh, Mount Rush, John's Gabi. We talked about their Mount Rushmores in wrestling. I think John's got to be up there on a Mount Rushmore at least. Like if you think
Me personally, it's Orton, Savage, probably Cena, then Taker.
I would probably now my Rushmore's tend to change. I would probably put right now Austin, Cena, Taker, Reigns.
I love Reigns, but like I also wanted to shout out like um Macho Man.
You can almost put you can almost have like Mount Rushmore 1, 2, 3, and 4 because it the Mount Rushmore is changed. I don't think anybody has one permanent one at all. I don't think
No.
so, at least. Right? I mean, those people. I mean, if you talk WWE, yeah, there's lots. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is the DA Wrestling. Thank you for watching, everybody. Doug's better at the Twitter stuff too. Go ahead.
Uh you can go find us on YouTube, the Wrestling Podcast. Um, if you have found us over from Google Podcasts, welcome. Uh, go find us on Spotify, rate 5 stars, Podbean. Go give me a follow. I don't know. You never know what we might be cooking up.
What happens if you finish one?
Okay, that was
Whatever.
that's what I get for letting you watch videos during these.
I didn't even watch a video. I just had to flick something out. Like, oh, geez.
But socials, DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. He's a Purcell 1982 on Instagram. Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I'm G Lions 1991 on Twitter, and we'll catch you down the road.